Well, welcome everyone to my first tutorial on Minecraft. I do not know anything, except I know quite a lot according to my friends, but only according to my friends. Okay, so first things first, we're going to go off of some of the really basic stuff that most redstone people should know. So if you have redstone wire or redstone dust, it used to be called wire. If you place it along the ground and next to each other for 15 blocks, that is the maximum length that redstone can reach using any form of maximum redstone output, like a lever, a button, a redstone torch, or redstone block, other things like that. Once it reaches its lowest potential power, it can no longer produce any power. But at this point, you can use redstone repeater to extend the power another 15 blocks, and etc. So you can make redstone circuits as long as you need to with using redstone repeaters. There's another method where you can use redstone torches, but I'll touch on more like redstone torches in another video. Repeaters always have a delay on them, so whenever you place one down, they'll have a 0.1 second delay. So as you can see right there, that's a 0.3 second delay having 3 of them stacked up. But as you right click on them, you can extend that delay up to 4. So this right here is 3 4-tick delays, which means it's 0.4 seconds each and 1.2 second delay total. Takes a lot longer. Okay, so one of the first things we have over here as redstone is this is a trapped chest. There is barely any difference between it and a normal chest. You will not notice any difference, not normally anyways, between it and a normal chest. You open it, it says chest at the top, and you can store items in it, and you can make it double as well. The only major difference is the outside of the lock right here is a little bit redder, and on the inside right here you can see a little bit of red. But whenever you open a trapped chest, it will emit a redstone signal, as you can see right there, no matter what size the chest is. Redstone repeaters, by the way, will only accept power coming from directly behind them. So you can see right here, it only powers this repeater coming that direction. You can kind of see there's a little arrow there to tell you which direction it's going. Over here is the next redstone component. Now this is probably the one that people have the hardest time explaining. And I'll admit, I'll probably suck up when it comes to explaining this thing. So the redstone comparator, most useful feature for a redstone comparator is the ability to detect what's inside a block or what it contains. So as you can see, this chest right here is empty and the comparator is hooked up to it coming out. But once I put an item in this chest, it will immediately emit some power. Now this power is dependent on how much is inside this chest here. And the maximum power for a redstone comparator attached to a chest like this would be 15. So it works based on 15ths of the chest being filled. So over here, you can see this is a double chest. I have 3 stacks of polished diorite in here. And if I were to take those same 3 stacks over to the smaller chest, it would produce a full 2 right here. But in a larger chest, since 1/15 the chest is a larger size now, it only produces 1. There are some other things that the redstone comparator does as well. That is the way it accepts power from the side. It's a bit strange, and I still have yet to really fully understand it. But as far as I can tell, it will the power coming from the back will remain the same when it comes out. So as you can see, this one's lost one power right here because of the extension. And so this piece of redstone right here is the same power as this piece of redstone. So it goes out to 14 blocks. And on the side here, it will only accept power when it's not activated like that. It will only accept power that is stronger than the input power. And you can tell that right here because as soon as I do this, all the power will just go. It's just all gone now. But once you turn it the other way around, it basically subtracts the power that comes in from the side. So at this point, if you make it the most strength as possible, and this is a little bit less than that, then there will be no power coming in because this is taking away the power right here. But this one being a little less strong at 3 right here instead of 2 will produce still 1. Now, using this subtract feature, you can make some pretty cool little contraptions. For example, right here, this is an infinite clock right here. I don't know the proper term for it. Basically, if you activate this switch here, the redstone will continue activating this, activating and deactivating the comparator because of the way it works. Since it'll subtract the length, this right here will be powered to full because of this redstone right here, and this will be -2. And then it'll go into here, and then it'll not be powerful enough to reach over here again, and so then it'll go back to full power, and etc. It'll go over and over again because it can't figure out how to do it. Now, the way this works, you have to have it a bit longer than this in order to get it to work. Oh crap. I'm missing my tutorial already. Fantastic. But if you lengthen the redstone a bit, let's see here. Yeah, once it gets to 3 pieces of redstone away from the comparator, then it can actually start to activate your redstone contraptions, like this dispenser right here. And also using that same logic that we had before with placing an item into a chest means that you can, if you have an item in this chest right here, and the redstone comparator will activate this repeater, which means that the power will be able to reach over here, then it will activate a bit of a slower redstone clock. You cannot do it normally because without this repeater here, the power isn't enough to reach all the way around. So yeah, you can just make clocks like this that go a little bit slower using repeaters. You can always just make it slower and slower and slower. Another way you can do it too is that stuff like this dispenser right here, if it has arrows in it, it will fire those arrows because it is. Oh, I think I broke it. Huh. Once you fill up a dispenser like this, apparently because it's so full, the redstone, the comparator right here, has a full redstone output, and this repeater is not enough to just stop to reach all the way here without losing all of its power and not being able to affect it anymore. So if you were to delete this one and place a repeater here, then it would work again, albeit a little bit slower. Yeah, so that's the basics for redstone comparators and your basic redstone. I don't know if I need to elaborate more on those. I sure hope not. Now on to the next useful redstone contraption here, the hopper. Now the hopper acts less as a redstone contraption and more of just a item transport. So essentially, a hopper will be able to accept items from the top of it, like this. If you throw items on top of the hopper, it will suck them up inside of it, like this. But if you place it to the side of the hopper, it will not take those items. And the hopper can also suck up items from a full half slab above it. However, it cannot accept items a full block above it. But another useful contraption, which is basically the same thing, is the minecart with hopper. All you have to do is just craft a minecart and then put it with a hopper inside of a crafting table, and you get the minecart with hopper. Now, the minecart with hopper can actually take items from a full block above it. Now, this becomes very useful for your farms and whatnot. So, as far as the hopper goes, you can, when you place it down, as you can see, the little bottom bit right there is going directly down. However, if you crouch and you click a chest to place it down, it will immediately change that form to make it go this direction. Now, you can keep that form no matter what is here or not here. And so you can have a hopper hooked up to a chest here where it will take the items from the top and then immediately put it into this chest. For the hopper minecart, to keep on moving inside of most of your farms, you will need to keep your you need to have some powered rails and keep them powered on. So the main ways you're going to be able to do this is by just having a redstone torch off to the side, having a lever that's activated off to the side, which I recommend because it is one of the cheapest options, or even above it. And then you can also have a redstone block underneath the rail, which is somewhat expensive, or you can have a detector rail, which means that as soon as the minecart rolls over it, it will output a redstone signal and power the powered rail. Now watch as it does so. I guess I just found a bug. Apparently minecart sounds don't want to work today. Interesting. Because the minecart can continuously move around an area, you can have farms set up above this that drop blocks. And like, for example, sugarcane. If there's some sugarcane on this block up here that you broke using something like a piston, then that sugarcane will get picked up by the hopper minecart and placed into a hopper right down here, which you can have set up below the rails. You cannot have a chest with a rail on top of it, unfortunately, which is just a strange feature. As you can see right here, I can place it on top of the hopper, but it's not on the chest. With power rails on minecarts, you can essentially keep a minecart moving between two areas, like just going straight in one direction. If a powered rail is touching a full block and the minecart is on that powered rail and next to a block. So as you can see, this will continuously move back and forth between these two blocks as long as the redstone is powered on. Once it's powered off, it will not. Oh, and another thing about powered rails is that whenever they're turned off, they slow down a minecart. They do it a lot quicker than normal rails do. So if you need to slow down a minecart on purpose, you can do something like that. So let me show you a longer example here. You can activate this right here. Well, as soon as it hits a block, it should keep going right here, and it'll go back and forth between these two blocks because there's power rails next to it. So now you have some basic redstone understanding here. I am going to show you the automatic chicken farm. What you are going to need for this farm is you are going to need at least 2 hoppers. You're just going to need 1 stone slab, a block of your choice. It does not matter what this block is, but I recommend glass so you're able to see everything clearly. And by a block, I mean you're probably going to need quite a few, like at least 10 or more. You're going to need some redstone. I recommend to have at least 10 or more redstone on you. You're going to need a repeater, a redstone comparator, a dispenser, and some lava. That should be all the items you need, besides the chickens themselves, of course. Okay, so to start this build, you're just going to want hopper on the ground, a slab above the hopper. Behind this slab right here, you're going to want a dispenser. You're going to want block covering up all around this slab here and above it, as well as on top of the dispenser. There we go. And then off to the side of the dispenser is where you're going to place another hopper, and this is where your chickens are going to go. So you're going to want to make an area over here around this hopper that's too high so that the chickens cannot escape. Then right above this slab right here, you're going to want to put a lava bucket. Connected to the dispenser, you're going to need a repeater like I showed earlier with the redstone comparator. So you're going to want to turn it on like that. Redstone repeater. Attached like this. Going back around to the dispenser. And just like that, that's the automatic chicken farm. That's it, done. I mean, you're gonna need the chickens to go up here, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you how it works now. So you're obviously gonna need a way to either lead chickens up here and then either push them in, which you probably want to cover up this lava so that you don't have to worry about that. Or you could just get yourself a whole bunch of eggs. Okay, so imagine you have a few chickens. You managed to get them up here to this hopper. Now, the chickens are going to start laying eggs randomly. So the more chickens you have, the faster this is going to work. And don't forget too that the chickens will despawn over time. So unless you have a name tag on them or you've been feeding them, they will despawn. But the problem with feeding them is that once you have a food item out, they will all occupy the same space. You cannot feed more than one of them. So that's a huge problem with this right now. The best option would probably be to have some sort of system set up so that you can spawn in a chicken and have like some water lead it down to this area, but feed it before it hits that area so that it doesn't despawn. So once you have chickens in here, then you can have eggs go into this compartment right here. And then as you can see, okay, that's obviously a glitch. Minecraft Java is pretty broken. Anyways, once the dispenser starts going, your eggs will fire onto this right here slab, and as the eggs get put into this dispenser, the dispenser will activate due to this clock, and it will summon or spawn baby chickens here. Now, baby chickens, because the lava is a little bit higher than their actual block occupancy, they will not be affected by the lava. So while they're here, because baby chickens don't drop anything, they're completely useless essentially. But adult chickens, when they turn into adult chickens, they're just big enough to be touched by the lava, and they get killed almost immediately. So as soon as they're killed, their drops will be picked up by the hopper, and because it's lava as well, it will be automatically cooked chicken and feathers every single time. And then because the hopper is down here, you can also set it up so that there's like a chest or something, or more hoppers. Yeah, if you just got some more hoppers here, I'm just gonna do this chest, couple hoppers, and now all the items will be filtered into this chest by the hoppers. So I'll wait here for a bit just to show you what I'm talking about with this, because I don't think the tick speed will matter. Let's see, I'm gonna set it to 100 random tick speed. I don't think these are gonna grow any faster. Iron trapdoor. I think I could get this to work. So if I were to put that there, the chickens cannot escape, and I can also feed them. See, as soon as that one grew, it died, and then immediately picked up the items. Oh, see, a chicken actually laid an egg there. One grew. It guarantees a cooked chicken every single time a chicken grows up to die. Actually, okay, so I think the way this works is that because the lava is there, the items will burn up almost immediately as well, and because two different items aren't picked up at the same time as by the hopper, whereas like a bunch of the same item can be, because of that, that means that either the feathers or the cooked chicken are going to be picked up. But you could make it so that it's only either a feather or a cooked chicken farm. The way this works is that you can have it be a feather only farm if you have the hopper underneath it filled with only feathers, like this. And you could do the same thing with cooked chicken as well. Because the chicken will drop a cooked chicken every single time it dies, this putting only cooked chicken in the hopper means it will always pick up only cooked chicken, because it cannot hold anything other than cooked chicken. But the storage will be limited to this one hopper, unfortunately. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys as well how to do a automatic sugarcane farm. Well, actually, you know what? I'll just go over some of these redstone blocks first. Okay, so the 3 blocks we still have to go over in order to understand how this automatic sugarcane farm works is the observer and the piston. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what the observer does real quick. So when you place it down, the face that will detect is on the opposite side from where you are. This right here is the detecting side, and this right here is where the redstone signal comes out of. So this is where you're going to want the redstone to be, right there. And this right here, this face, will detect any change in the block in front of it. So if I place down a block, redstone signal. Take away a block, redstone signal. If I change the block that's there, a redstone signal. Same with just about anything. So for the piston, it is able to push blocks like so. Okay, I keep forgetting that if you place that on top of it, Java Edition, it breaks. In Bedrock Edition, it does not do that. Alright, so that's just 13 blocks in front of it now, which means it can't do anything. Now, for the sticky piston, on the other hand, it is like a regular piston, except for one major difference. It is able to pull the block in front of it as well, like this. It's pretty self-explanatory. There's not much need to explain these components to redstone at all. Anyways, on to the build. So what you're going to need for this is you are going to need 1 observer and 1 piston for every stalk of sugarcane you have in your farm. So the amount of sugarcane is purely dependent on how much you're wanting to farm. And technically same goes for this chicken farm over here. You could have a much larger area where the chickens are and several more hoppers hooked up to the chickens so that you can have a more accessible area for the chickens to roam around and for you to be able to feed them and keep them from despawning and also produce more eggs. Anyways, for this design, all you need is you're going to need the observer, the piston, sugarcane, obviously some water because you can't place sugarcane without water, a block of your choosing, some redstone dust. That's it for the main section of this thing. So what you're going to do is you are going to place an observer 2 blocks high right in front of where you want the sugarcane to be, like this. Now we're going to break that so it doesn't interfere with our system here in a bit. Plus I already set the tick speed to like 100, so I put it in the wrong order. Okay, so to start off, you're going to need a piston 2 blocks high, and then you're going to need your water right here, and the sugarcane needs to be on the same block that the piston will be pushing towards. Right above the piston needs to be an observer facing towards where the sugarcane will be growing, like this, so it'll be at the top. Then at the back of the observer, all you need is 1 block and a piece of redstone dust. This piece of redstone dust will get powered by the observer, and because the redstone dust will then power this block, it will also power the observer to turn on, or the piston to come on. So it's a very simple system. So with the random tick speed to set to 100, this should grow fairly quickly. So I should be able to show you an example here. See if 1000, maybe it'll grow faster. There we go. As you can see, the sugarcane will grow to the top observer there, and it'll automatically be destroyed, the second one, by the piston. But because the bottom one is untouched, it will be able to continue to grow up and constantly activate the observer to activate this piston and break the block. But how do you continuously collect the sugarcane that's coming from this? Well, I can show you. All you need to do is make sure that the area below it you have available so that you can set up a minecart with hopper. Around the sugarcane, be sure to place plenty of block. However, you will, in order to place a block above, you will need to have some sort of light source available for the sugarcane, or else it will stop growing. So you will need something like a torch, and then you can cover the top here. And now you should always have the items within that one block. So now you have your items within that one block. You can go ahead and build your rail system underground. So your rail system can look like basically anything. It just depends on what kind of build you're wanting to make here, really, because you don't have to do it like I'm doing it. But the way I made it, because it is touching a block here, this powered rail should allow for it to go back and forth between those 2 points. If it does not work, it should be easy. It should be, well, I guess it needs one more block space available to go there. Alright, so now it will go back and forth between these 2 points and constantly bring the items back up to this hopper. On the inside here, the sugarcane should grow and constantly be broken, and the minecart should pick up the sugarcane and bring it down here. There we go. As you can see, this is working. Now, you can make this at whatever scale you want to. So you could theoretically, actually, you know what, I'm going to just show you what I've done on a different server. So I made this little design on my Redstone testing world here, which I actually implemented into the survival realm, or the survival realm, which I am currently in. Anyways, this design has basically the same system, except there's an entire circular area of sugarcane, or there's an entire square area, whatever, however you want to say it. Like, having it like this means that you'll produce even more sugarcane, and yeah, it's basically the same exact design, except for on the inside, instead of having it come out to give it to me, I just have to come down to get it. So down here, all I have done is set up a little railway track where it goes all the way around the area where the sugarcane is, and I have a little hopper right here that picks up all the sugarcane. Now, a sugarcane farm can go relatively fast, or it can go relatively slow, which is what I've had happen when I decided to try to go AFK on a realm server, which of course Minecraft does not like and will not let me do. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and or hopefully gotten some understanding of Redstone. I don't know if I explained it well enough for you. If I did, just let me know whether I did or didn't in the comments below. If I didn't, I can come back to these and try to explain them best I can. But this should be these are some relatively simple redstone designs, so I'm definitely not trying to be any sort of mumbo jumbo here. No one like that. But I'll come back with a few more different automatic farms, which I'm sure you've already seen this design back here. Definitely not by me, which none of this really is by me. Hopefully I won't have to explain as much redstone as I did in this video, and be sure to hit that like button and subscribe, but only if you want to, because that makes me feel very weird saying that, because I know it's a very cliche thing to do. Anyways, I don't know how to do an outro. I can think of something. No, I can't.